what inspired you to start this business, and what was the inspiration behind the name?
In the evening, and my dad had already passed, and I just heard his voice saying, "Minnie, why don't you bottle your sauces?" And that's how my chili sauce started. You always have this doubt whether you're doing the right thing and can you be strong enough to take this through. And I surprised myself after I left my job, because I've done
like in most of these types of situations, the narcissist would take total control.
Our voices need to get louder, because every day you hear of women being killed by their partner.
Hi you guys, I'm Luandra Jacobs and I'm here with my co-host Tanya Boyson. Mina here is our guest for our 7th episode of the Come Up series. Hello and welcome to you.
Hey. Thank you so much.
So Mina is the founder of Guru Foods, which was founded in 2019. It distributes Indian homemade chili sauce across South Africa and recently in Seychelles and in Zimbabwe. The sauces are perfect as a dip or a spread in your sandwich, or you can use it to add some spice to your pasta or pizza sauce. You can also use it to marinate your meat or chicken. Yes. So Mina has an interesting story to share with us, and I'm going to hand over to Tanya to dive in with some questions.
Okay, so my first question is, what inspired you to start this business, and what was the inspiration behind the name?
Okay, so I come from corporate. I've been in corporate for 26 odd years, from media actually. And I think, just being in the corporate world, it gets a bit nasty now and again. It's sometimes the boys' club, but it wasn't like that. I think over time, I've had an amazing experience being in media and being in corporate, working and doing a lot of work for a company. And I realized that all this expertise and all the skill set that I have, why not just utilize it in my own business? And I really got tired of corporate. So that's why I initially left. And I said, at that point in time, I didn't really have a plan. I just know I registered my company and I said, I'm going to do food, because I used to take food to work and people always ask me, why don't you just cook and sell them? And I realized, you know what, if guys at work appreciate my food, why not offer that to many others, that, and especially vegetarian meals, because I'm not sure about you guys, but whenever I used to go to corporate events, they never really catered for vegetarians. It's always difficult. They don't know what to do. It's either steamed veggies or you're going to get a pasta bake or something very bland. And I'm Indian, so I like my spices. And it's always good to have amazing flavor when you do have vegetarian meals. And I said, why not try this? So August 2019 was the last month that I actually worked in corporate. I registered my business. There was no cooking clue, no pun intended, on the what I was going to do further. I had no menu. I didn't even know what I was going to do when I got home. So for the first month or so, I think I just took it easy. You know, your body talks to you. You need to really just chill and do absolutely nothing, which I did. And a few months down the line, we were hit with COVID, and I was plugged into doing what I needed to do. And I got started. We had a menu set up, and it's so coincidental because on the 3rd of May, we had our menu set up, and we started this business on the 4th of May in 2020. So we just made 2 years. And you asked me what inspired me to start, doing this. My parents, they've always been hardworking people. My dad was hardworking till the day he passed on. And they also, my mom would have people over, but you'd never leave their house without having something to eat. Up till now, friends and family, they always used to say, whenever we come through, there was never a time we left without having something to eat. And every time it was delicious. Nice. So I wanted to just redirect that from my parents. So Guru Sauce started in August. And that was because, with COVID, people stopped ordering food. And I didn't know how to sustain an income because that was my only source of income.
Yeah.
So eventually I got this voice in my head from my dad. it came to me in the evening, and my dad had already passed, and I just heard his voice saying, Minnie, why don't you bottle your sauces?
Mm.
And that's
wow.
how my chili sauce started. So, because like I said, with COVID, everything opened up after a few lockdowns.
Yeah.
And then my food line got quiet. So I needed to start something else just to get some sort of income.
Mm.
But we also put this to a campaign for abused women, because I'm a survivor from gender-based violence.
Mm.
And I want to do something for women that are in that position to show them that there is another way out. So we initially started this whole campaign saying, why don't we give back to women? So for every bottle that was bought during that time, we put R1 aside and we donated that to a charity.
Oh,
So I
that's
still
great.
want to continue doing that.
No, that's
So
great.
I'm hoping that, with your platform and every other platform that I've been on, I get the support from individuals that would even buy one bottle and we can put it away
Yeah.
until I make my 5,000. So I can either give it to one woman, even if it makes a difference to one, I know
Yes,
I'm done that.
most definitely.
Or we do it to 5 women and we treat them to something, whether it's a spa day or a dinner, something that, they'll cherish, because we want to make women feel special. And they
No.
have to be special. Coming up with Mother's Day, I'm sure everyone wants to do something special for their mom. And I've lost both my parents. So if I can give back to somebody that really needs it, I want to do that.
No,
I hope
that's
I answered your question.
yes, you did. You did in detail. No, that's very inspiring. That's
Thank
very
you.
inspiring.
Yeah.
So, Luandra, your question?
Okay. Wonderful story, by the way. And I
Thank
love
you.
your packaging design, the website. I went.
Thank you. I'll share more pics with you guys later. So I'm not sure if you can see that clearly. I don't know, but I can share it on your site when you're ready, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, perfect. So the next question from my side, can you describe what went through your mind that morning of August 2019 when you finally decided that this is what I'm going to do? I'm going to resign a 26+ year corporate job. What went through your mind?
Yeah. Well, the day I decided that I'm resigning was the 29th of July. And it so happened that it was my late sister's birthday.
Oh.
And I just realized, you know what? I think there's more to life than just being in a rat race, waking up early, making sure you get to work on time. Otherwise, you're going to get, victimized. Not that they did that, but they are eyes, and people do look at you and say, oh, okay, you walked in late. But I was never late. I'm always on time. But I eventually got tired of the corporate world. I've been in corporate, like I said, for over 26 years in media. And it's been a roller coaster ride. So yeah, and also because of this gender-based violence thing, you always just carry that baggage with you, whenever somebody looks at you and you're always thinking you're being questioned about all your own. You have this niggle at the back of your mind that, am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? Will I do something that, people or my family will be proud of? And I've been on my own for over 20 odd years, raising 2 kids as a single mom, not getting any subsidy or anything from anyone. Even my maintenance that I was getting from my ex-husband, I think he paid once. He never really cared. My son was 9, my daughter was 6 at the time. So, you always have this doubt whether you're doing the right thing and can you be strong enough to take this through. And I surprised myself after I left my job, because I've done very well in being in corporate. I've managed a team on the news channel. I've learned so much in media, never thinking I'd be doing that. And being a single mom for all this time, having 2 grown-up adults now, my daughter is also into media. My son is a salesperson. I mean, he loves doing that. But just having this niggle at the end of your, at the end of your thoughts is just that doubt. Will you make it? And somehow I think I just carried myself. I started believing in what I needed to do, who I am, because I know I'm capable. And I mean, I succeeded in corporate, so why not do it for myself? And it has been tough. I'm not saying it's easy at all. It's been so tough. I've got a good foundation with my family. The structure is very well supported. They've helped me through this 2 years. But what's best about all of this is that I survived the worst year, which was 2020. You know, we all were praising that it's going to be 2020, the year of 20 plenty. And what happened? We all had to just stay quiet. And I just said, no, there has to be another way. And we went on. This bottle never had a label. I had a stamp with our branding, and I used to stick it onto a bottle. And because my daughter's in media and she did some sort of graphics, she created all my labels.
Oh, that's nice.
And with research and the support from my boyfriend, he said, let's get them barcoded, which we did. And thank God, you know, I've had all these people around me, I still do. And we've taken it from one brand or one product, which was just the mild. We now got a hot sauce, and we've got an extra hot sauce because everyone has a different palate. So we've done that. And so far I can say the steps that I've taken has got me to where I am today. And people like you have elevated me to another level. And I really, really appreciate that. So I've learned so much. And I think Tanya and I met while doing other businesses. You know, it wasn't even because of what you do now. So they say God will put people in front of you that will take you to the next level. And I truly and honestly believe
definitely.
that.
So my second question is, what kept you going during the pandemic? Because we all had this mental issues.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I think when we were in the pandemic and going into complete lockdown, I was already devastated. I think with me, I've had debt. I've still got debt. And I just didn't know how am I going to fulfill all my obligations to all the people I owe money. And at that point in time, I hit rock bottom. And I lived alone at that point in time. So I really didn't have anybody with me, you know, to just say, don't worry, it's going to all be okay. And there was a time in April where I just thought, okay, let's just call it evens. I'm lost here. I've got no idea what to do. And that's when my boyfriend came through and he says, you know what, you might just be a phone call away because we don't live together. And he just said, you just a phone call away. I am here for you, and I'm sure your family are there for you as well. And then my kids, my sisters all just said, you know what, we've got you, don't stress, we'll sort things out as we can. And thank God, I mean, I think even the government had the 3-month holiday repayments, which we were all obliged to take up, which I did. And that really helped me. So that gave me a sense of relief. And I just said, well, now I just got to push harder than ever. Look, I'm not out of the red yet, but it's just taught me that, you know what, if you've got something set in your mind, there's always a solution. And I know God's not going to put me through this without me learning and coming out. I might be, you know, they say if you're in hell, why stay there? Move on and get out. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So for now, I don't see it as hell. I just see it as stepping stones to get me to my next, to the next level.
Very true. It's just a learning curve.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. Thank you so much for your open and honest and transparent answers there. You're such an inspiration.
No, absolutely. Thank you.
You are such an inspiration. What advice can you give women who are in a bad relationship right now and feel uninspired to get independent and leave, or maybe feel like they won't survive without their abuser? This is touching on your gender-based violence.
Okay, so you know, I was in that position. I was in a marriage for 9 years, and I was young at the time. I mean, I was 19 and I had my son. So I was pregnant before I even got married. It's a lot of taboo then. Back then, you know, especially with Indian parents, it's like you blacklisted their names and you don't fit in. You just, you know, you're bad. Anyway, I had my son. I was 19. I eventually got married, not realizing that my husband at the time was a narcissist. So it was all about him all the time. When I had my daughter, and that was pure out of love. I mean, I thought things would change with him. It wasn't like I was trapped, but I really wanted another child. And when I had my daughter, things just started going to another level. We progressed as a couple, as a family. And then he was going into other things which I never knew about. So he had like a double-sided life. So he became a gambler. He used whatever money he had while he was trying to build a business, left his job, doing gambling. And when he lost, he obviously took it out on me. I barely saw my kids at the time. And it just spiraled, you know. But at the end, the day I realized I needed to get out was the day I woke up. I had blood clot in my eye, and I had to put makeup on my face just to cover the patches. And I went to work, and I realized my boss said to me, "Do you want to be like this all the time? Because we're here for you." They called my dad, and you know what? As history would say, that's the past. I came out. But I was also scared because he was somebody that I thought, you know, I'm building my family support. So I knew I could go back. But I know with other women, they don't have that. They probably not allowed to go back because, oh, you disgracing the family name, just stick it out. They don't know any better. I'm on one of the groups, even on Facebook, for abused women. And so many times I see or I hear of ladies saying they don't even know that they can report it to police. And when they do go to the police saying it's a domestic affair, we cannot help you. So they feel lost. And because they don't have their family nearby, they stay. But there is a way. It's just they need to know that they have the support of somebody else that can take them out. So if I was somebody in that situation now, I think it's all about media teaching a lot of our women that there are opportunities to get out. And the only reason a lot of them don't is because they don't know how. So I think we as women need to support one another and show that there's so much more out there that we can do for them, even if it's not through media, but a friend telling a friend telling a friend. That's all. You just need to know that you've got that support from someone. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. You did. I think the benefit of your situation was that you had a job, so you were somewhat independent. You were not dependent on him, because I feel like in most of these types of situations, the narcissist would take total control or want to be in total control where you're not even working. You know, so he would cripple you to a point where there's no way for you to get out.
No, that's true. And then the woman is so dependent on the man that she is like, no, there's nowhere to go, so I will stick it out because he's providing.
Yeah. And I don't want to be out there begging people or feeling obligated to others as a burden. You know, I totally get that. And I think, like I said, there are opportunities for us to get out, but so many people don't. And you're right, Luandra, it's the same reason. They just don't know how, because they're so dependent on the man. Yeah.
Okay, so to round off that topic, which gender-based violence homes do you know of that this specific woman can get in touch with?
Okay, so what we've done so far, I've had a conversation with a gentleman in Actonville, because I'm in the East Rand, and it's called Batida House. So a lot of the ladies within our area, well, in the East Rand, can go there. They do provide for women as well as children shelter, and they do help you. So if women have maybe got a court number or even a case number, and if they sent it to them, they're willing to assist to take it further, to get them out of that situation, and they do help. The other lady that I had a conversation with some time ago, I'm not sure if you heard of Tears Foundation.
Yeah, I heard of that.
They also really help with a lot of women as well as with their kids. So they do assist you in that regard. So I think those guys are happy to help. I've met the woman from there, and she's just remarkable. They just so open to assist anybody that needs their help.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Guys, we'll link all of those informations down below in the description section. Thank you so much, Mina, and thank you so much for sharing your testimony and your business and Guru Foods. I wish you many success.
Thank you.
for what you do for BV community. Yes.
Community.
Yeah.
No,
But thank you so
I'd
much.
really like to do more, actually.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, I think our voices need to get louder, because every day you hear of women being killed by their partner. I've read somewhere that 1 out of 4 women come out alive from being
It is
intimately abused from their partner. So it's somebody they know.
really bad.
And I mean, I'm sure you guys seen in the news as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many women, and they all have been either hurt by their partners or somebody closest to them,
Yeah.
which is so sad.
It is. It is very sad. But thank you so much, Mina. Thank
No,
you
you're
for being on
welcome.
our show. It was
Thank
really
you.
inspiring to have you here, and I'm sure you motivated a lot of women as well that has watched this. And thank you for everybody else that has tuned in and watched our show. And please like, subscribe, and share our channels, mine and Luandra's channel. And thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Until our next episode. See you then.
Thank you so much,
Bye-bye.
ladies. All the best.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
Guys, don't forget
Thank
to
you.
go buy some of these lovely sauces. Go check out Mina's website.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.